All right. Hello, everybody. This is Nicole Whitlock with eCom Sellers. And this is the eCom Sellers podcast. So today's podcast is actually just me. Normally, it's me and Kelly Ward. In the eCom Sellers podcast, we normally talk about e-commerce news, tips, and more. That is the thing that we cover. And today's tip is going to be talking about what to source and sell in September. So, like I said, my name is Nicole Whitlock. My partner in crime, my co host on this journey, is normally Kelly Ward, but she had another obligation, so she couldn't make today. So you just got me. I decided to just go ahead and record this so that you would have it available. And let's talk about what's happening in, I guess, in the e commerce space and also in your neck of the woods. So for us, I live in the Dallas Fort Worth area. Kelly lives in near north of Houston, and it has been hot in Texas. But near Houston, they got some rain, but up here in the Dallas Fort Worth area, we got none. It's been insanely hot. We have had nonstop 3-digit temperatures every single day, and it has been so frustrating, annoying, exhausting, and tired. So we're ready for this weather to leave us. In addition to that, Kelly and I normally talk about stuff that's happening in our personal lives and our businesses. I would tell you, both of us are ramping up for Q4 right now. So I want to encourage you to do the same. And that's the reason why we're going to talk about what to source and sell in September when we get to the tips. So let's go ahead and cover the news while we're at it. So I pulled up a couple of articles. Let's go ahead and hit I'm going to start with e-commerce bites. E-commerce bites always has a lot of great news to share. So if you haven't ever checked out e-commerce bites, they kind of do a pretty good summary of some of the things that are happening in the e-commerce space. And I'm going to go straight to some of the articles. So the first one is on Etsy and scammers. Look, this is the time of year where there are scammers aplenty on every platform. And it's frustrating and it's annoying. And so Etsy is urging sellers to be vigilant against scammers. Scammers are going to happen. Look, the big box stores get scammed. You have to know that Walmart gets scammed, Target gets scammed, Lowe's, Home Depot, AutoZone, all of the stores, Kohl's, they all get scammed. It's not like it's huge numbers, but it feels like lately, well, in the last 2-3 years, people are losing their minds when it comes to scamming. So Etsy just kind of put it out there to try and help sellers be more vigilant about, when they're doing transactions, how they're communicating with who, what, how to handle certain situations. So you can check out this article directly. And, if you're a seller, this is that time of the year where the stats go up exponentially. I will tell you, I think there was, when we did our podcast, I feel like it was maybe about 9 months ago, maybe 10 months ago. We actually talked about the stats on how crime in general related to stores and also e-commerce has gone up, and returns and refunds and things like that. So the numbers were closer to, and maybe it was over a year ago, but the numbers were closer to like 8%, sometimes 11%. And that's what the industry was pretty used to. Now the numbers are clearly in the 2 digits, up in the 20s. And that is not good. So that's definitely going to impact, uh, you know, prices, and it's going to impact sellers long term because it's going to affect our profit margins. If the stores go up, regardless of whether you're doing private label or wholesale or drop shipping, like all the cost of different things are going to continue to go up. Shipping has caused everything to go up anyway, but just being mindful and staying vigilant. So you can check out this article from e-commerce bites. It's a decent read. It's a short read, so go and check that out. Then the next one is Amazon adds USPS ground advantage to its shipping options. So if you're a seller on Amazon, you probably already know this information, but they have added it. And so now this is an option for you. and you can consider using it. There's another article that talks about the impact of a USPS ground on some sellers. So I'm going to go ahead and go down the list. The next article comes to us. Etsy sellers have until next month to comply with the imagery for minors. If you're selling on Etsy, you probably already know this as well. You may have received the communication. Just want to remind you that effective September the 8th, they've expanded. So you want to make sure that you're complying with what is required of you. Again, this is a super short read. So you can go and check this out on eCommerce Bytes, or you can check your email inbox from Etsy because communication has been sent out. The next one comes to us, and it's about eBay, and it's talking about prohibiting the sale of plastics. So it's a regional thing, or not necessarily regional, but certain areas of the world, like plastic is not wanted. Plastic is not good anyway, but you can check out that article. They're specifically talking about Australia in that article. And then the next one I wanted to hit was sellers of fragile goods. Sorry, impacted by USPS ground advantage. Now, this one, for sure, this one is talking about how the fact that USPS ground advantage, they believe that it is impacting the supply of things that we use as sellers, things to keep our stuff safe and so it doesn't break or bend or, whatever. That includes bubble wrap, padded envelopes, and things like that. And so the supply of those things is not what it used to be. And they believe that that's impacted the availability of some of that packaging. So you can read this article and follow through what the suggestions are and what people are doing to solve the problem. I think Kelly has mentioned a few times, like you can buy the pool noodles and you can use that as another form of uh, keeping the things that are fragile that you ship, like coffee mugs, safe so they arrive at their destination intact, which is always the goal. Okay. The next one is the UPS strike is officially averted. So we were watching this in July very closely, all the way to the end of the month when negotiations had already broken down, and then they had a temporary agreement in place. Now it looks like they have a 5-year agreement. Again, you can read this article on eCommerce Bytes. You can probably also check it out on all the other major news channels on what the agreement was and things like that. But the thing that we need to know is I'm confident that UPS's prices are going to gradually go up. I would not be surprised by that. Um, so you as a seller need to be prepared for that, especially going into Q4. Make sure you're ready for that slight bump in prices that will eventually come. So it's good that they were able to negotiate this and, come to an agreement. All right, the next article, and this will be the last one that we go through, is we'll go through two. So, another article is Amazon makes it easier to track your FBA shipments from China. Anything to make it easier to track stuff is always great. So, they introduced the ShipTrack carriers. And again, if you are an Amazon seller, then you probably already know this and you received that email. And if you're a person that has your inventory sent directly from China into the Amazon FBA warehouse, then you care about this. But if you're a person that you have your stuff sent from China to you, you package it, you put your labels on yourself and you repackage it and send it off to the warehouse, the FBA center yourself, then, this is not as relevant for you. So definitely want to check out that article. And again, you probably already received some communication. The last one is we're going to talk about is PayPal kills key benefits of its business debit card. So I have a business debit card. I've been using it for years. So they say that, using the card and the benefits of the card. Like we get cash back. So this means that you will have to have enough money in your PayPal account to fund purchases using the card. And this is new and it's effective September the 12th. So having money in your account in advance, I remember receiving this communication. I was like, what? Um, so you'll have to make sure you have some money in the account. This is, I don't know. I'm not excited about this. I'm used to just being able to use the card and then they take it directly from my bank account. But now you have to move money from the bank account to your PayPal balance and blah, blah, blah. So this does not make things easier, especially when you have a bunch. You have to know exactly when your transactions are coming through on PayPal so you don't run into problems. So now I've got to do something a little different, probably at the beginning of each week. Go move money for transactions that I know are going to come in later throughout the week. So this will be interesting. So those are some of the articles from eCommerce Bytes. The next one is eCommerce 360. This comes to us from Digital Commerce 360. They always have a few different articles that are worth reading. So this first article is the earnings recap and what you missed for Kohl's, Ulta, and so much more. There's a lot of numbers in here. And some of this is indications of what's happening in the economy. And some of it is just giving you some insights of what's happening with specific brands and stores. They don't 100% always break it down by online sales and in-store traffic, but you have to know that online sales are a key component to some of this. Some of these stores are not, viable solutions for doing like retail arbitrage and online arbitrage, but I can tell you that some of their products make it into the liquidation space. And so if they do, again, knowing what's happening with that particular store and or a brand that they sell or support is helpful, because then that'll give you some indications of how quickly you can flip anything that you acquire, especially in the liquidation space. So Abercrombie and Finch grew by 16%. Bath and Body Works had a drop in the last quarter of 3.6%. BJ Wholesale grew by 15%. Dick's Sporting Goods grew by 1.8%. That is very small, so I'm hoping that they have an amazing Q3. Dollar Tree grew by 8.2%. I think they're always going to continue to grow. They said that the average ticket declined at the Dollar Tree and grew at the Family Dollar. So I think that's really interesting, and it could be due to thefts. Who knows? We may not know that information. I didn't get into the weeds. We can probably go find that information if we go search for it, if it's shared. Foot Locker traffic or sales declined by 9.9%, and the Gap declined by 8%. Guess increased by 3%. Kohl's declined by 4.8%. So we've been watching Kohl's, Target. I remember a couple of different stores. What's happening with them, because they've all been on the verge of bankruptcy or shutting down and things like that. So you want to know what's up. Lazy Boy declined by 20%. So they're definitely in trouble. Lowe's grew by 3.9%. Macy's declined by 10%. Again, brick and mortar sales also declined by 8% over the year. So Macy's is definitely in trouble. Nordstrom's declined by 8.3%. Again, online sales declined by 12.9%. Online sales at Nordstrom's. So they're not doing enough to drive traffic to their online presence. And again, sales continue to decline. Something's going to happen, and there may be some inventory that's out in the liquidation space, which could be beneficial to you. So you want to, again, I pay attention to this kind of stuff. Petco grew by 3.4%. Urban Outfitters, they grew by 7.5%. Ulta increased by 10.1%. Williams-Sonoma declined by 11.9%. Not good. So you can check out this summary digital commerce 360, digital e-commerce 360. Then there was another article on two of them. One is on Newegg launches their AI product review summary. This is designed to help buyers be able to see summary information about products that they might be interested in, which is good. And sometimes Newegg is a great site to source inventory if you're doing online or retail arbitrage. So this particular site can actually, you can get a lot of traffic or finding some products to potentially sell from this site. So this is information that may be helpful to you as a person that is trying to do some research to figure out what products you want to sell. And then the last one is talking about a major distributor commits to a big regional expansion. So I believe it's McCarter or something like that. Hold on, let me see. It is I was close. McMaster Car. They are expanding to create a distribution center in Fort Worth. So that's good for us because I'm in Texas and I'm not far from Fort Worth. So that's good for us. They have over 700,000 products, and they offer 98% of their products if they're ordered for delivery same day or next day. So they have a lot of products, and they are expanding and building in Fort Worth. Those of us who live in the area, I don't know if they're going to make it open to the public where you can come and maybe get some inventory. But anyway, you may or may not be sourcing from them or selling products from them. But you might want to look into that. The next article comes to us from MSN. I talked before. This is Macy's, Dick's Sporting Goods, and Lowe's are sounding the alarm of shoppers. They say that U.S. consumers have less cash to spend and are choosing experiences over products. I think choosing an experience over a product, I think, is actually a good thing. Lowe's says homeowners are doing well, but fewer are taking on projects themselves. And Dick's Sporting Goods says that the report reported that an unexpected uptick in inventory shrink from retail theft. Retail theft is a huge issue. And again, I think over the next 12 months, like that's going to be pushed out. Everybody's going to continue to see prices rise, regardless of what's happening in the economy. If you don't get the crime under control, then it's going to affect prices, and prices regardless of who's in office. And so prices are what drives, what we can source and sell. So that is a big factor. The next article comes to us from Yahoo Finance, and it says that Dollar Tree is adding locked cases and removing items from the store amid the rising theft cost. Again, shrinkage is a huge issue. So you can read this article on Yahoo Finance talking about shoplifting and shrinkage. I have seen where people were intending to buy something and the line was just too long, and then they just literally got out of the line because there's only one employee working. Maybe they were like 12 people deep and they just took the thing out the store, which is crazy. But anyway, you can read this article from Yahoo Finance about this. And then the last article I have comes to us from MSN, and it says Macy's falls as markdowns to clear inventory cut into sales. So again, they're trying to move inventory. This is the time of year in which they move inventory. You're going to find a lot of deals in different stores like Walmart right about now, or Target, where they're trying to get inventory out of the store so that they can put more stuff on the shelf for Q4. We talked about that in the last podcast. It's going to continue to be a thing through this week and the next week. They typically start doing that around August, so about the same time, back to school stuff is when they start putting some of that other stuff on clearance because they have to start making space. most of their Christmas stuff or some of their Christmas stuff is already in their back warehouses and they got nowhere else to put it. They got to get the stuff off the shelves. So there's going to be a lot of markdowns that you could be taking advantage of because of that issue. Okay. So I hope this information is helpful. I hope you use it to help you as you're sourcing products or coming up with product ideas. I love going to stores, even to do a little bit of reconnaissance for private label products and print on demand products and drop shipping products, because it gives you some insights to different things just walking the store, even if you don't buy anything. So you can check out these articles. I hope you'll let people know about the eCom Sellers podcast and share it out with a friend. Invite them to tune in every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, where we talk about e-commerce news, tips, and more. Now we're going to transition over to the news. So today's topic is what to source and sell in September. Dun, dun, dun. So the first one is pumpkin spice. I actually did a post on my Facebook page where I had a picture of a rack that was in Walmart. It showed some pumpkin spice donuts. Not that I was there to eat the donuts. I am just pointing out that, the pumpkin spice is already out. Typically, the last week in August, the pumpkin spice comes out. Most places will wait until September the 1st, but that pumpkin spice comes out. And we're talking about pumpkin spice everything, from pumpkin spice scented candles to pumpkin spice scented magic markers and pens to pumpkin spice scented Post-it notes to pumpkin spice every single treat you can think of. We're talking about donuts and cookies and cakes and coffee and tea, like pumpkin spice, pumpkin spice, pumpkin spice. Pumpkin spice does sell. And so the thing that we try to do is be strategic about pumpkin spice and get it on the tail end, because they only produce it. It's a limited time production thing. So if it's a limited time production thing and those people who really like pumpkin spice and want it to stick around, then, you could be a person that's able to continue to get those sales if you have enough inventory. So like I said, it's everything from tea to candy to cookies to cakes to scented things that we use every single day, which is crazy. I think I've even seen pumpkin spice scented air freshener. And, it's pumpkin spice. Anything that you can put a scent on, people are doing it, and pumpkin spice is where it's at. So the tip I would give you here is, if you're going to source and sell pumpkin spice stuff, definitely do it. But then if you can find those things that are unique, very specific, you might want to try and source those as well, see if you can get a good deal. And towards the end of the season, maybe closer to Thanksgiving or closer to just before Christmas, start stocking up on some of that pumpkin spice, because it's probably going to start going on clearance. And get it while you can. Check the expiration dates when it comes to consumables, so that way you can continue to sell pumpkin spice well into April, because people will buy it. Next is Halloween. All things Halloween. All things Halloween, from costumes to decorations to goodie bags to candy to clothing, t-shirts, hats, jackets, notebooks, pencils, pens, socks, tennis shoes. Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. So this is like the print on demand game for sure. And there's a whole bunch of Halloween related decorations and stuff like that. You want to make sure that you get your listings up. If you haven't already sourced for Halloween, you need to do it now. If you're doing print on demand, you need to create your stuff now. If you're doing drop shipping, you need to go ahead and do stuff now, including inflatables, lights, decorations, you name it. Halloween themed anything, coffee mugs, ties. This is the time of year to list that stuff. So if you're talented and you want to do something with print on demand, go for it. Even if you're not talented, there's a bunch of different ways you can create stuff, and you don't have to be talented. And then, of course, you've got the candy. Candy bundles are going to sell like hotcakes around this time. And also, Halloween decorations are going to sell like hotcakes around this time, because people don't just buy one rat. They buy multiple rats. They buy 4. We created our team Neos. We created that 4-pack and 2-pack rat listing and that 4-pack and 2-pack bats listing that you source from the Dollar Tree. We created those listings. And so, again, this is that time of year where people are going to buy decorations, and they're not just going to buy one thing, they're going to buy multiples. So anything that you list, always list in multiples. Thanksgiving, everything and anything Thanksgiving related. We're talking everything from cookbooks to cooking utensils to pots and pans and bakeware to everything that you pull out around Thanksgiving. So this is a consumables person's dream. Like if you are a person that's selling replenishables and consumables, there's so much around Thanksgiving. I mean, you've got all of the cake mixes and pie mixes and um, the jellos and the puddings and the seasonings and the spices and the oven bags. I mean, I could just go on and on. The tins that you cook stuff in, storage containers, because sometimes people are going to other places for Thanksgiving, and so they need to transport it. The carrying bags, Tupperware, just so many opportunities for Thanksgiving. So many opportunities, especially food related opportunities. Multiple boxes of macaroni and cheese, multiple boxes of mashed potatoes, multiple boxes of stuffing, multiple things of seasoning, like it's multiple boxes of jello, multiple boxes of pudding, multiple. It's just, yeah, a lot of stuff. And then you have all your disposable wares. You can sell your disposable wares in Halloween, but you can also sell them for Thanksgiving. So when I say like forks, spoons, knives, napkins, tablecloths, all of that, cups, all of that, Thanksgiving. So check it out. And you also have a bunch of Thanksgiving decorations, as I said before, clothing. Same thing with Halloween, all of the same stuff. It's just you have a boatload more food variety in Thanksgiving, and you also have several, books. So put your books up if you are a person that's a reseller of books. List your cookbooks now because people are starting to get together to figure out around Labor Day. Sometimes families start to get together to figure out what they're going to do for Thanksgiving. And so they're going to break out that cookbook and start putting together their game plan on what they're going to cook, what that menu is going to look like. So you want to make sure that that book is already out there. The next one is Christmas. Again, a continuation. So there's a lot of food happening around Christmas as well, but there are a lot of toys and gifts and packages. So gift boxes, gift bags, wrapping paper, tape, boxes, all kinds of gifts, endless number of different types of gifts. So if you know what you were planning on selling for Thanksgiving, this is your time. Not Thanksgiving, sorry, Christmas. If you know what you were thinking about selling for Christmas, this is your time to put it out there. Put it out there now, not later. Do it now. Go ahead and order whatever it was that you plan on selling for Christmas, as long as your supplier has it in stock. Start putting together your game plan for your backup supplier for anything if you have specialty goods. If you haven't placed your order for things you're going to need in January or February, this is the time to start thinking about that and putting that cash aside, or figuring out what your cash flow situation is going to be, which is what we talked about in the last podcast. But Christmas, something you should be sourcing for right now, and you can start putting those listings up. You have so many inflatables that are going to sell for Christmas, candy that's going to sell, decorations that are going to sell for Christmas, gifts, bundles, you name it. Christmas is just a lot. So Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, so many different opportunities. You have to pivot to more food related stuff for Thanksgiving, maybe, or unless you want to stay in decorations or whatever, or just, wares, clothes, socks, hats, jackets, backpacks, wall art, whatever. So Christmas, 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 Christmas. And be on the lookout for that Christmas clearance. Put that on your list of things to do, to go to some of these stores on the 26th and clear the shelf, or the 25th in the evening and clear the shelf. Summer clearance happening right now. I was at the store Saturday and a few days before that. Um, and summer clearance here in Texas is already on clearance, even though we still have 3-digit days. Insanity. 3-digit days. Like we've had almost, I don't know how many days nonstop. I feel like it's over 40 or 50, but 102, 103, 105, 107, 109, 110. I think it got up to 111, but it's been hovering around 107 to 110. It's ridiculous. It's insane. And yes, they're putting summer on clearance. So swimsuits, swim shoes, beach towels, beach, floaties and things like that. This is a great time. Even though you still got Labor Day, people are going to get together for Labor Day. That's that one last hurrah to go out and go to the lake and do all the stuff. Play, have fun, play in the water, whatever it happens to be, or go to a cabin, camp out, whatever. So some of that stuff is on clearance. Take advantage of that. And some of it you can resell for a higher price later on, depending on when you want to put those things up. Most of the time, we'll put up the swimming related stuff right after Christmas, like the 26th, we put that stuff up. So be on the lookout for summer clearance. This is everything summer clearance. It's not any one thing. So look out for summer clearance. You might want to start checking out the clearance aisles now at every store, including your grocery stores, just to see what's over there. It's going to continue to get full. It's going to continue to get full for a couple of different reasons. They've got to clear out the space to be able to put Christmas in, or Halloween, or Thanksgiving. So there should be a steady stream of clearance stuff right now until probably mid-October. So you just need to put it on your schedule and put it as part of your regular routine to hit the stores. Next is fall and autumn. So same thing. They are the same. But fall related stuff, that could be decorations, that could be activities. Around the fall, sometimes people like to go and do that last, camping outing, or sometimes it's fishing. Hunting season's coming. So things that will allow people to be outside or to gather. People might rent a fire pit. So just thinking through all of the things that could be happening in the fall activities. If your child is in sports, like my son is in football now, so we're going to be going to the stadium on a regular basis. So I'm like, okay, I got to bring that padded stadium chair, so you could be comfortable, maybe an extra blanket or throw in the car, all the fall stuff. And up north, it's going to get chillier and colder for you than it will for us down here. So there's going to be more things that people need to buy, jackets and coats. Well, coats are going to be closer to winter, but they might start buying coats now, but jackets and things like that. So the fall is right among us. It's right there. And this is your chance to kind of start thinking about sourcing or creating your listings. If you have already sourced, go ahead and start creating your listings for all the fall stuff that you have, including, like I said, decorations and clothing and wares and stuff for the kitchen. Sometimes people like to rotate stuff. I've even seen people who leave the Christmas tree up all year and then they just kind of change it for whatever's coming up. So we have now it's an Easter tree. Now it's a fall tree. Now it's a, whatever type of tree it is. Winter. So winter, this is a good time to start sourcing for winter. Go ahead and place those orders for winter. And I will say, just because if you're sourcing from China, we know that there's that down window, January and February. You might as well just start sourcing for spring too. But sourcing for winter, this is a good time to do that. Sourcing for everything that you need for the winter time, regardless of where you live and what part of the country. People are going to be buying stuff for the winter time. So go ahead and start sourcing those things, including that like fake frost that you put on the windows, which is of course a popular thing around Christmas time, that they'll put that fake frost, especially here in Texas. It's like everywhere. It's everywhere. So start sourcing for those things or listing those things. And if you've already got inventory this winter, then I would put together your game plan for listing that stuff. As soon as fall hits, put the winter stuff up. As soon as that date passes, put the winter stuff up. Major 2023 items, movie items. So there's a lot of movies that have come out in 2023. Some of them were duds, some of them were not. But regardless, if they were the family friendly or the blockbuster anticipated type of movies, then that movie probably has action figures. That movie probably has all kinds of, notebooks and backpacks and memorabilia and toys and figurines and you name it, they got it, including probably some games, board games, and things like that. So, any movies that came out this year or came out the end of last year, they're gonna be hot, and you want to make sure that if you're able to source branded items or you have a merchandising license or you have connections with a great distributor that can legally get you the stuff, movies. And sometimes these streaming shows like, Stranger Things, they have all of this memorabilia and stuff as well. So it's not necessarily always memorabilia, but it's stuff. Everything from calendars, like desktop calendars and wall calendars, to little figurines, to ornaments that goes on trees, like Ted Lasso. I'm a huge Ted Lasso fan, and so the ornaments that go on trees and things like that. So sometimes it's not just movies; sometimes it's TV shows as well. Veterans Day and Elections Day. So there's elections that are going to still continue to happen, local elections. This is your opportunity to sell some red, white, and blue. Veterans Day, sell some red, white, and blue. So when the stuff goes on clearance on Labor Day, you turn around and flip it, sell it on Veterans Day and Election Day as well. You have to put those listings up in advance. You can also sell other things. It's not just red, white, and blue. So if you've been selling those types of things, then you know what you need to source, and you want to go ahead and get those things sourced now or create those listings now so they're ready to rock and roll. Okay. Because people, again, are not buying this stuff on that day. They're buying it in advance of that day to prepare for whatever it happens to be. Whether it is laying reefs at a grave, they're ordering that stuff now. And sometimes they're ordering it in bulk. And if you have that type of inventory, again, this is another opportunity for you to get some of those sales. Or, elections that are coming up. There's always going to be campaigning on the trail. And so there's going to be a lot of stuff that they hand out as part of campaigning, including those little tiny miniature flags that they hold in their hand, stick flags. So if you source and sell those, you need to go ahead and source now if you hadn't already done so. Emergency preparedness. So in the fall, we have so many different things that can happen, just like in the spring. You can still have tornadoes. We know the hurricanes are already here. Unfortunately, there's the wildfires that were happening in Hawaii, and then you have the floods that were happening in California. And so natural disasters can happen almost any time. But the fall and the spring seems to be when the weather is changing the most. That seems to be when the most drastic stuff happens. So people will need stuff like generators, and they will need batteries, and they will need candles and matches, and they will need food storage, and they will need whatever it is that they need based on what part of the country they live in or what country they live in. So emergency preparedness will not go away. And that includes like something happening in their car, the car breaking down, like having all of that stuff available. I loved it when those auto kits, the emergency preparedness kits came out. I feel like they came out about 7 years ago, but prior to that, you really didn't see a bunch of them put together, and now you just see them everywhere. They're kind of saturated everywhere. Maybe about 7 to 10 years ago. So be on the lookout for those things that are emergency preparedness, including things for your kids, like, unexpected rain. So they've got that little miniature jacket that they can throw over, raincoat that they can throw over their stuff, including their backpack. You just never know. So, emergency preparedness stuff. And then preparing for Prime Day 2. Prime Day 2 is in October. And Black Friday. So, whatever products you plan on offering or selling, items that you plan on offering and selling for Prime Day 2, you want to go ahead and get those listings created now. If you haven't already sourced that inventory, you need to get that inventory ordered and sourced now and prepare to ship that in to Amazon like next week at the latest. So that it gives it enough time to get checked in. Same thing with Walmart WFS, just enough time to get it checked in and to start ranking. So Prime Day 2 is in October. Then you have Black Friday that's happening in November. So again, your opportunity to order those products now. If you haven't already ordered your Black Friday products, if you don't even know what you're selling, you need to figure that out so that you are ready to rock and roll for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Figure out what you're going to sell, figure out what you're going to source, and go do those things. So I hope this information is helpful. I hope that it gives you something to think about. I hope that you use it to make decisions in your business, or that you feel more comfortable that you have a solid game plan in place. There are so many other things that we could have brought up, or I could have brought up today, but here's some of them. So if you have some more, add them to your list so that way you're ready to rock and roll. And if there is a specific topic that you want us to cover in the future, definitely put it in the comments so we can help you be prepared. So hopefully this is a good list for you, a good starting point, and you can add to it, edit it, whatever. And maybe if it doesn't apply to you, if there's some things that don't apply to you, then remove it from your list. So I hope this information is helpful. I hope that you will tune in for another episode of the eCom Sellers Podcast. We would love for you to share this out. Share this link, this video out to a friend. Let somebody else know about the eCom Sellers Podcast. Like our Facebook fan page. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter and everywhere else. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. Definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we come out with a new podcast every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, where we talk about e-commerce news, tips, and more. And we are here to help sellers. That means we are here to help you. So with that, wanted to let you know that we have a couple of things that are coming up. One of them is, well, these are all live in-person events. So we have 4 live in-person events. We have 2 AI 101 basics workshops that are coming up, the 26th and the 27th. So 26th and 27th of September, they are 8:30 to 4:30. And so we invite you to come and hang out with us if you wanted to learn anything that is AI related. If you have any questions, if there's a skill that you want to develop, if you want to learn how to be an entry level AI prompt engineer, if you're struggling with, what prompt do I put in here? What do I type into the box to get any results or to get it to do anything for me? And you're the type of person like, I learn a lot better if I'm in person versus trying to learn something online. Sometimes people struggle with online. And so this is your opportunity to come and talk with a person, get hands-on help, get hands-on guidance, bring your laptop, register today. All you need to do is go to swiy.co/live AI workshop. Again, swiy.co/live AI workshop. And it's going to be on the 26th and 27th. Seats are limited. There's only 20 seats available on the 26th and 20 seats available on the 27th. So we hope that you will come and hang out. If you want to learn anything about, if you want to actually put together a blog, we're going to do a blog exercise in the workshop. If you want to use AI to help you to do research for lead magnets, we're going to do that in the workshop. If you want help with creating graphics, we're going to do that in the workshop, creating an image. So go and sign up at swiy.co/live AI workshop. We are going to be doing some hands-on activities for those people that are struggling with AI. And we're going to touch on a little bit of automation. So we hope that you will join us on the 26th. That's a one-day workshop. And the 27th is a one-day workshop. 8:30 to 4:30. So check it out. The next is the AI print-on-demand automation workshop. We are going to actually produce in this workshop, each person that attends, 100 print-on-demand designs in the workshop. I'm going to show you how to set up automation, how to automatically produce 100 AI designs. And we're going to do it in an hour and under an hour, really. Um, and so you will learn how to set up the automation. If you've ever wanted to do print on demand, if you've ever wanted to get started with print on demand, if you have an existing print on demand business, but you want to know how to use AI to help you to expedite some of the stuff that you're doing, you don't want to miss this workshop. It is again 8:30 until 4:30. So it is on the 28th. So you can sign up right now at swiy.co/live AI POD workshop. Again, swiy.co/live AI POD workshop. It's going to be all things print on demand. We're going to create print on demand designs, not just for like we can start with Halloween, but it's a little late to be doing Halloween. We're going to go straight into fall, Thanksgiving, Christmas. So 100 designs, every person. That means if we have 20 people in the class, we do 100 designs. That means that we're going to produce 2,000 designs in 1 hour in this class. So bring your laptop. I'm excited. We're going to show you how to automate your print on demand business, and we're going to show you how to use AI to help you with your print on demand business. So tell a friend, swiy.co/live AI POD workshop. Hope to see you on the 28th. The last one is the arbitrage and wholesale product bundles workshop. We are going to be creating product bundles in this class. So you can go and sign up. It's the 29th and the 30th. So it's all day on the 29th and half a day on the 30th. We're actually going to be creating product bundles together. We're going to do some wholesale bundles. We're going to talk about what bundles are. We're going to put together some bundle products. We're going to do images in class. And then we're going to go out and do some arbitrage bundles. I love arbitrage bundles because then you can actually touch the products or touch the concept of the products. Then you can go and either source something different or sell that particular bundle. So we're going to do everything from bundles, training, how to create a bundle listing, first of all, how to vet a bundle. Okay, how to create titles, descriptions, how to get the images. We're going to do all of that hands-on in the workshop. So again, all of these workshops are for those people who don't want to do that online course. They want hands-on to talk to somebody, get things going, and they want to walk out of the class with something in hand. All of these classes, you will walk away with something in hand. You will have created something. You will have built something. You will have work that is done. So in the bundles class, we're each person that participates is going to create 25 bundles. They're either going to be bundles or multi-packs, and they're going to be their own bundles and multi-packs, not mine. So the great thing about this one is that we also are going to give those people that participate in this class, we're going to give them the free replens and bundles list through the end of the year. So if you sign up for this class, you get the free replens and bundles list through the end of the year, absolutely free. So you can go to swiy.co/live bundles workshop. Again, swiy.co/live bundles workshop. I hope that you'll come hang out with us. I hope you'll check it out. Again, swiy.co/live bundles workshop. Come and hang out with us. Let's put some bundles together. And let's create your listings. Let's do keyword research. Let's do product research. Let's go out shopping together on Saturday, the 30th. So with that, I'm hoping that you'll sign up. I hope to see you. I think this class is going to be amazing. All of them are going to be amazing. And I look forward to hanging out with all of the participants. Each one of these classes are limited to 20 seats. So I hope you'll get registered today. So with that, my name is Nicole Whitlock. This is the eCom Sellers Podcast. Normally my co-host, my partner in crime, is Kelly, the eCom Mom Ward, would be with me, but today she is not able to do so. So we hope that you'll tune in for another episode of the eCom Sellers Podcast, where we talk about e-commerce news, tips, and more every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. And with that, we are going to say goodbye for now. Bye, guys.